So today I am going to do a 24-hour readathon. I know that most people start these at midnight, but I've done these before and I just normally don't do that because I like to sleep a bit earlier and everything. So it's 12:12 in the afternoon right now, so we can call this 12:15 that I started. And like I said, I'm going to be doing a 24-hour readathon. And now here are the books that I'm hoping to get through. So I'm reading Crooked Kingdom. I'm filming a reading vlog for this actually. And I have, you can see my bookmark, I have about 100 pages, give or take, left of this. So I'll definitely be finishing this today. And next up on my list is Love Boat Taipei, written by Abigail Hing Wen. I picked this up from my library last week because I was just browsing and I saw it and it had been on my to-read list, and it seems like a super fun summer read. And I like to break up my fantasy readings with just a contemporary or something that's not fantasy world building related. I don't know, that's just something I prefer to do, so this was the perfect choice. Excited to get to this. And next up I have Mr. Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore by Robin Sloan. And one of the booktubers on here that I follow, and I'm so sorry I can't remember who, but one of the booktubers on here recommended this and the premise sounded so interesting. It's about a bookstore only has a few customers and they check out these obscure books from all corners of the store. And so one day our character notices this and he thinks it's a front for something bigger, and so he wants to know more. And that's all I know. I just know that from the synopsis. That's all that I remember. So I don't know. I'm excited. It seems like a fun, magical, whimsical read, and I hope that's what it is. I hope it's not darker, but it sounds like maybe it could go in that direction. Either way, I am excited to read this. And last on my list is Malibu Rising. I have it on my Kindle, and my Kindle is actually charging right now, so I can't show it. But it's Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have read both The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and Daisy Jones and the Six, and absolutely loved both of those books. I think I like Daisy Jones a little more, but both of those novels are phenomenal. And so I've heard great things about Malibu Rising. I think it's about 4 siblings that live in Malibu. They're rich. That's kind of all I know. I mean, honestly, I'll read anything by Taylor Jenkins Reid, so I already feel like it's going to be good. And again, I think it'll be a fun summer read since I am on summer break. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping to get through in this 24-hour readathon. It is a little bit ambitious. I think I can definitely get through, I mean, I know I'll finish Crooked Kingdom, and I think I can definitely get through Love Boat Taipei, and maybe I'll also get through this one. And then Malibu Rising is definitely ambitious. I'm not quite sure if I'll actually get to it, but I thought that I would put a third book down on my list just in case. Hello, so I'm just about to start reading. I have made a cup of tea. I'm drinking, I think it's called Blue Lady Earl Grey. My boyfriend got me these monthly loose leaf tea packets and it was in there. And it's really good. It's like blueberry flavored Earl Grey tea. So that's what I'm drinking. And as I mentioned before, I'm gonna be reading Crooked Kingdom. And hopefully I'm gonna finish this maybe in the next hour or two. So I'll begin that. I have my ambiance on the TV. That's what, if you hear those noises, that's what that is. I've got my little cat. She just came up for some pets, so it's looking like it'll be a good reading session. She is laying down on my book. I need that. I'm gonna be reading that. Okay, so I'm going to record myself reading a little bit and I will check back in probably just when I finish Crooked Kingdom. Look at her. She sat in between my leg and my book. Aww. So I just finished reading Crooked Kingdom. I've just filmed a kind of more of a reaction to that for my reading vlog for Crooked Kingdom. So it is now about 2:20. I actually had a little bit more than 100 pages left in Crooked Kingdom, so it did take me a little bit longer than anticipated. But nonetheless, it's around 2:20, and I'm going to now read Love Boat Taipei. So this is what I'll be reading next, and I didn't explain what this book is about. I just said that it was a summer read. And so a little synopsis of this book is that it takes place in this it's supposed to be a really strict educational immersion program in Taiwan. And our main character is a woman who goes and she thinks that she's going to have, you know, this really strict summer experience, but instead all of the students there are kind of obsessed with nightlife and flings and dating and all of this. So it's kind of just this wild summer, I'm thinking, based off of the synopsis for her. And at the end of summer, she has to return to her parents. And from what I'm understanding, she has to reconcile between who her parents want her to be and who she wants to be, and who she's kind of discovered herself to be after this summer in this program in Taiwan. So I'm very excited. It sounds like it's going to be steamy and spicy, but also have some pretty important messages here. And yeah, I'm excited to start reading it. Starting off spicy. She loves it when I read, because then she gets to cuddle up with me. Oh, sweetie. So I am pausing to eat some lunch, and I'm listening to an audiobook, or I was listening to an audiobook while I made my lunch. I'm eating a lemon pesto pasta. I made it, but not really. It was from a kit, so. Anyway, I am listening on the audiobook to Fresh Water, and I'm about halfway in to that book, and it is about a girl named Ada who is raped when she goes to Virginia for school. And after this happens, there are, I think, 3 gods and goddesses that are awakened within her, and they start to take over her body. And so we kind of get to see these gods who are much more ruthless and not as caring as Ada navigate her college years. That's the best way I can explain it so far. Again, I'm about halfway. I think I'm actually at 45%, so I'm not too far into the story, but so far I'm liking it. And it's a little hard to listen to because she is taken advantage of by men more than once, so trigger warning for that. But I do think it's an important story, and I'm happy to be listening to it. Okay, so I'm eating now, and I picked back up the Love Boat Taipei, and so far I'm really enjoying it. I'm 43 pages in. I haven't been reading it for that long, but I just wanted to read out loud something from this book, because I think that this novel is doing a really good job of discussing our main character's experience being an Asian American living in Ohio, which primarily all the students in her school are white, and so she stands out as an Asian American. And now that she goes to this school in Taiwan, everyone there is Asian or Asian American. And she says, "I don't know a soul here, but in this moment, the loneliness I feel is overridden by the larger strangeness of blending in. In the mall back home, heads sometimes turned when I walked by with my family, but now my Asian Americanness is invisible, erased like a shaken Etch-a-Sketch. It's an unexpected relief." So, I don't know, I just really like that. I think that little passage does really well to describe maybe what our main character is feeling in this moment. And yeah, I'm really enjoying the book so far. I didn't realize at the time, but parents think that this is a very high-class education program, summer education program, so they don't know that there are no rules here and that there's no supervision really. And her parents want her to go to med school really bad. And she is a dancer and she wants to dance, and she has just rejected a offer for the one dance school she applied to because her parents got upset with her. And so I'm really excited. This is better than I was hoping. I think this might be a little bit about her. I thought it was going to be a fun little like dating story, but I think it might be more about her trying to accept the fact that she wants to be a dancer and maybe come to terms with that, and while figuring out how to not feel like she's letting down her parents, because she talks about how they've immigrated here and they've given up everything for her, and so she does feel like she owes them this medical future that they want her to go into. And so I'm really excited for the conversation about that to kind of continue, but I also do hope that there are some little flings and stuff, because that's kind of what I thought I was getting into. Not that I'm mad that it's not that, but it's just not what I expected. It's coffee time. So I've never tried this combination before, but my boyfriend got me this iced coffee from Starbucks, and it's actually really good and sweet already. So I think I'm just gonna add a little bit of oat milk, and because I like my coffee really sweet, I'm also gonna add some of this caramel syrup, and we will see how it tastes. That's good. So Ever just did her photo shoot, and she posed for some risque photos and with her roommate Sophie, and Sophie is acting weird. Anyway, predictions, you heard it here first. I think that Sophie is going to somehow leak Ever's nude photos or her photo shoot photos in the future because she's jealous of Ever, but is pretending to be her friend. That's my prediction right now. I'm about 130 pages in. I'm telling you, she really likes it when I read all day, because then she gets to cuddle up and sit on or near me. Look at, she's such an angel. Okay, so I was half right. Sophie did out Ever's nudes because she was jealous, but also I feel like she had reason to be a little bit upset because Ever's kissed her kind of man's. Well, he kissed her, but she kissed him back. So anyway, things are getting real heated in this book. There's like a 4-way love wrecked square going on. And it's just been so fun to read. So it is now about 10:10, and I just finished reading Love Boat Taipei, and this book was so good. It was such a feel-good novel, but it also talked about some really important things, and I'm really happy I read this for my 24-hour read-a-thon. It was, I think, one of the most perfect books I could have picked. Yeah, I don't know, it talked about some really serious things about sexual assault, depression, and in a really well done, respectful way. I was especially surprised with how well this author handled talks about depression, and the way that she portrayed the girl in this book who did have depression was it was done in such a respectful way, and that gets just an A+ from me. And then in the end, it was such a good book about this girl coming to terms with who she is and recognizing that she can go against what her parents wish for her without going against their character. And the ending was just so great because she still has a relationship with her parents and she respects them in a new way, but she doesn't bow down to what they want for her. And it was so good. And then her dad even takes a note from her book and pursues what he wants to pursue. And it was just such a good ending to such a wonderful novel. It was such a beautiful story. So I'm very happy I read it. Now I will be reading Mr. Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore. And like I said, it's 10:10, so I'm hoping to get a good chunk of the way through this for tonight. I don't know. We'll see when I get tired. I did drink coffee at around 6, so I might be up for a little bit longer, but we will see. So I will update you in a bit. So it's about 11:30, and I just wanted to update everyone, maybe for the last time tonight, that Mr. Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore is really good so far. I'm only about 50 pages in, so I don't have that much to say, but I'm very intrigued. Yeah, that's all I have to say right now. And I'm getting a little tired, so I don't know how much longer I will stay awake and read for. So it's about 12:45 at night. Probably gonna sleep soon. I know I said that about an hour ago, but I just continued reading, and I don't know how I'm feeling about this book now. There's still a mystery, so I'm intrigued, and I'll definitely continue reading, but there's also a lot of talk about computer coding, and it's getting into really specific things about computer coding, and it all just feels a little pretentious and unnecessary to me. Like, I don't think it's necessary for them to talk this much about specific coding thing that most readers aren't even going to understand for as long as they are. Like, I'm just skipping over a lot of it because it just reads as very pretentious to me. Like, I don't know who their target audience was with all this coding stuff, but I'm not into that side of it. But I'm into the mystery, and so I'll keep reading. But also this narrator, you can tell this book was written by a man, because he talks about how when he was young, he wanted to date a hot wizard girl. Like, I don't know. Not really liking this too much, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Oh, also, you can tell this book was written by a man because the main character in this book meets this girl who works at Google, and she codes, and he thinks she's a unicorn because she's a woman and she's coding and she's smart. So that's getting really old too, because you unfortunately have to hear this main character's inner thoughts about this girl all the time, and it's just like, yeah, woman can code. Get over it. Like, it's just definitely written by a man, and I'm not enjoying his male presence in this novel. So it is about 8:30 right now. I just woke up. I'm going to eat breakfast and then go to the gym, and I'll probably listen to my audiobook there. And then I might have an hour or two to continue reading a physical book when I get back before I hit the 24-hour mark.
Waking up feeling like it's gonna rain.